The story begins with Echa describing her recurring dream, where she enters a magical world and feels completely at peace. In this dream, she meets a handsome man who appears regularly, and they share intimate moments that leave her feeling content. However, as the dream grows more intense and the man draws closer, the scene shifts to reality, where Echa's clothes start to unbutton on their own, hinting at a supernatural force at work. Unaware of this, a demon is shown becoming intimate with her, but Echa believes it's all just part of the dream. At 4 a.m., Echa is awakened by the doorbell and finds her husband, Ariel, a security guard returning late from overtime, a source of ongoing tension between them. Inside, when Echa asks Ariel to hang his jacket, a demon knocks it down to cause irritation, leading to a familiar argument. Ariel goes to bed without eating, leaving Echa feeling hurt and distant. The next morning, their silence continues. Echa avoids Ariel and is distracted at work, while her friend Linda notices their ongoing struggles. Ariel quietly struggles with the strain in their marriage as well. During lunch, Echa shares with Linda how Ariel's early affection and surprises have faded after 3 years. Linda listens and gently explains that marriage changes over time and requires effort from both partners. She admits she, too, has changed since dating, no longer dressing up or speaking to her husband the same way. Instead of blaming him, Linda has learned to adapt and keep their bond strong. She offers support focused on growth and healing rather than complaints. Echa realizes that intimacy with Ariel has completely faded and can't remember their last meaningful moment. Following Linda's advice, she decides to reconnect by being more present and caring. Meanwhile, Ariel receives advice from a senior at work to spend more time at home, knowing small efforts matter. That night, Echa warmly greets Ariel, surprises him with tea, and shows unexpected kindness. They begin to reconnect, but as intimacy returns, the lights flicker and a demonic presence appears beside Ariel. Later, Echa finds herself in a strange otherworldly building where the demon, in the form of the handsome dream man, places a flower on her and tells her she will never leave. Frightened, she tries to escape, but the door won't open, jolting her awake. Shockingly, the same flower lies beside her bed, leaving her stunned. Later that evening, when Echa comes downstairs, she finds a heartfelt surprise. Ariel has cooked dinner for her. The simple gesture deeply touches her. They sit together, talk openly, and reminisce about the early days of their relationship. In that emotional moment, Ariel apologizes sincerely and promises to fix things between them. He wants to start fresh and rebuild their bond with full commitment. Echa agrees, giving their relationship another chance. That day, Echa plans to return home late because she's meeting her younger sister Ima after work. In the morning, Ariel offers to drop Echa off on his scooter. Watching them together, Linda feels genuinely happy, realizing that they're both making real efforts to reconnect. At work, Echa feels more focused and emotionally grounded. While organizing items at work, Echa comes across something disturbing, a flower inside a box that looks exactly like the one the demon gave her in her dream. She freezes, shocked. Just as she reaches for it, someone else picks it up. Suddenly, the same man from her dream appears, walking toward her. But when she looks at his reflection in a nearby mirror, she sees not a man, but the demon. Fear takes over. Echa rushes to the bathroom and begins vomiting. The demon silently stands behind her. Linda follows her in concern and asks what's wrong, but Echa stays silent and walks away. She doesn't know how to explain what she's experiencing. When Linda checks the sink, she's horrified to find that Echa has vomited not just blood, but insects. That night, Echa meets Ima at a roadside restaurant. Ima shares that she's recently broken up with her boyfriend Dasta because of repeated neglect and arguments. Echa gently advises her to give him another chance, echoing Linda's earlier advice that such problems are normal in relationships. Both sisters, though emotionally neglected, don't fully realize how lost they are. Echa then shares something heartfelt. In long relationships, there comes a time when nothing remains but conversation, and if someone is there to truly talk to, that's enough. Emma listens carefully and understands Echa's words. Then she reveals that their parents want to meet Echa and are hoping for a grandchild soon. This deeply affects Echa. She's been trying to conceive, but faces ongoing complications and is on medication. The pressure is emotionally draining for both her and Ariel. Later, Echa texts Ariel to pick up her medicine. While at work, Ariel suddenly sees Echa standing before him, even though she's supposed to be with Emma. Confused, he follows the figure that looks exactly like her, but when he reaches the spot, she vanishes. Then he hears her screaming. Rushing to the source, he finds Echa inside the building, standing oddly and appearing pregnant. Before his eyes, she seems to go into labor and horrifyingly gives birth to a demonic baby. Ariel is frozen in fear as Echa looks at him with an eerie smile. The baby crawls toward him, but everything resets when a senior arrives. Ariel, shaken by the terrifying vision, leaves work and returns home silently. He hands Echa her medicine and tells her he's arranged a body massage with a lady for the next day. Still disturbed, he goes to sleep without discussing what happened. Echa notices his odd behavior, but stays quiet. The next morning, the lady begins the massage and advises Echa to rest more. While massaging her stomach, she suddenly reveals that Echa is 3 months pregnant. Echa is overjoyed, but Ariel is terrified. They've only been intimate twice recently, once 2 days ago, and before that, 6 months ago. Ariel doesn't question it yet. He drops Echa off at work, and she happily announces her pregnancy to her coworkers. Everyone celebrates, but Linda feels uneasy. She recalls Echa vomiting blood and worms, which deeply worries her. When she expresses concern, Echa misunderstands, thinking Linda isn't happy, and begins to distance herself. That night, Ariel confides in his senior about his growing suspicion that Echa may have cheated. The senior advises him to talk to her, and even offers to cover for him at work so Ariel can spend the next day with his wife. Ariel agrees, but while walking through the parking lot, he hears a baby crying inside a car. When he checks, he sees a terrifying demonic baby. Frightened, he runs away. The demon is later shown holding the same baby, hinting that the child in Echa's womb might not be human. Ariel becomes more doubtful and checks Echa's phone, finding suspicious messages from a former classmate. He questions her, and she angrily agrees to a DNA test to prove the baby is his. However, Echa herself is confused. How could she be 3 months pregnant when they only got close again a few days ago? At the clinic, the doctor reveals a shocking truth. Echa isn't pregnant at all. Her body is reacting psychologically due to her deep desire for a baby. Feeling disturbed, Echa takes Linda to see a spiritual master named Ustad Zaini. Linda is already concerned due to the strange symptoms Echa has shown, like vomiting blood and worms, and her unnatural pregnancy signs. When Ustad Zaini sees Echa, he quietly observes a demon behind her, disguised in human form. Though he senses something is wrong, he remains calm and invites her in. After hearing her story, Ustad Zaini explains that Echa is not truly pregnant. He says that some jinns interfere in relationships, causing couples to fight by appearing in dreams and even physically interacting with women. But Echa refuses to believe him. Convinced her pregnancy is real, she becomes furious and storms out. Linda stays with her and tries to console her gently. Later, when Linda leaves, she rescues a kitten from the roadside. As she heads back, she senses the kitten is following her. But in reality, it isn't. Something else is. Linda returns to check on the kitten and finds the jinn, disguised in human form, waiting behind the boxes. The jinn brutally attacks and kills her. Echa witnesses this in a terrifying dream and wakes up in panic. She rushes to the location from her dream and discovers a crowd gathered around Linda's lifeless, bloodied body. Realizing Linda died trying to help her by going to Ustad Zaini, Echa breaks down in grief. When Ariel arrives home, he finds Echa in shock. They both notice her stomach has suddenly swollen, as if she's in the late stages of pregnancy, leaving them horrified. Echa finally tells Ariel everything, including her dreams and the demon's presence. Feeling guilty for hiding the truth and for Linda's death, Echa decides to seek help again. She, Ariel, and Emma visit Ustad Zaini. During a short exorcism, Ustad Zaini identifies the demon, Dasim, who believes Echa is his spiritual wife. The jinn is exploiting the emotional gap between Echa and Ariel, appearing in dreams and making intimate contact with her. Ustad Zaini ignores the jinn's claims and continues chanting, managing to force Dasim out temporarily. The demonic baby inside Echa reacts painfully, but once the ritual ends, Echa returns to normal, though the danger is far from over. Jin Dasim, notorious for targeting married couples to destroy their bonds, continues to haunt Echa's life. To protect her, Ustad Zaini instructs her to perform ruqyah daily, giving her a Quranic verse to read after returning home. Following his guidance, Echa and Ariel reconcile, apologizing for their past misunderstandings. Their relationship begins to heal, and the atmosphere in their home grows peaceful. 2 weeks pass without any disturbing dreams, suggesting that Jin's influence has weakened. During a casual outing, Ariel informs Echa about a potential job transfer to another city. Though the offer includes better pay and opportunities, he hesitates due to Echa's recent condition. However, since Echa has shown no signs of distress, she encourages him to accept the offer. They agree to maintain their connection through video calls, but as soon as Ariel leaves the next day, Echa begins to feel unsettled and lonely. She reaches out to Emma, who is unable to come due to work. Echa reads the protective verse again, but soon drifts into an uneasy sleep, hinting at the Jin's return. The following day, she notices her co-workers acting strangely, repeating chilling phrases. That night, she confides in Emma, who promises they'll seek Ustad Zaini's help once Ariel returns. Before Echa and Emma can leave for help, Ariel calls from the road, saying he will be home in a few hours. He urgently instructs Emma not to let Echa fall asleep, reminding her that during the last incident, Linda's presence had protected Echa. Emma agrees to stay alert and watch over her. That night, Emma keeps Echa engaged in conversation, sharing that she has forgiven Desta and believes he is the right partner for her. Despite their efforts, Echa suddenly dozes off. As soon as she falls asleep, a demonic force attacks. Emma is violently thrown off the bed and dragged out of the room by an invisible entity. The demon then returns and lies beside Echa. Later, Echa wakes to realize she is pregnant again. Panicked, she hits her stomach, causing bleeding. She finds Emma unconscious, but does not help. Desperate, she harms herself with a straightened hanger to end the unnatural pregnancy, but it has no effect. When Ariel arrives, he supports Echa and calls Emma. Once Emma recovers, they rush to Ustad Zaini, who ties Echa down and prays to expel the Jin Dasim from her. Echa remains trapped in her recurring nightmare, fully immersed in the familiar dream, where she always sees herself struggling to break free. Suddenly, Dasim appears and viciously attacks her hand. The marks from this attack start to appear on Echa's real body. Dasim grabs her tightly, and in the waking world, she screams in distress, showing signs of possession when a soul is taken to another realm by a demon. Despite Echa's torment, Ustad Zaini and his group persist with their prayers. Suddenly, Echa's bed begins to levitate, but the ritual continues. Dasim, disturbed, boldly confronts them, trying to intimidate, but Zaini stays firm. Ariel rushes to Echa's side and whispers that she must escape the demon's realm at all costs. He confesses his love and his wish to restart their life together, but Echa must first break free. Hearing Ariel's voice, she cries, recalls her wedding day, and repeats the Quranic verses Ustad Zaini gave her. Dasim's fortress crumbles, and Echa's spirit returns to her body. When she wakes, she appears normal. Ariel and Emma hug her, noticing the injury on her shoulder from the demon's attack. 6 years later, Echa and Ariel live peacefully in a new home with their 2 children, seemingly free from past troubles. One day, Echa asks Emma about their elder son, who had been playing near the main gate. There, he encounters the same mysterious man who once appeared in Echa's dreams, the Jin Dasim. Emma quickly intervenes, bringing her son back inside and warning him to stay away from strangers. Despite the warning, her son feels the figure was surprisingly friendly and seemed to want to make a connection with him. That's the end of the movie. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe. It really helps and keeps me motivated to make more videos.